best day of my life, living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life. Living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The best day of my life, best day of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Best day of my life, best day of my life. Watch it shimmer, all the glitter turns to gold. What a picture, see the future now unfold. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life. Living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life, living the best day of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The best day of my life, best day of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Best day of my life, best day of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
New day coming, got my soul running. Look to bluer skies. Heartbeat drumming, got my blood humming. Feels like I'm a fly. I'm ready for it. I see the clouds breaking over my head, ground shaking under my feet. I got the sun shining on every step, dancing down every street. Yeah, it feels good to be me. Yeah, it feels good to be me. It feels good to be me. Ain't no worries, I don't gotta hurry. Kiss and live what I'm dreaming. On a time to be alive.
dance.
To the house beat. To the house beat.
Follow me.
All right, my friends, we are live, and I'm not even in camera here. Jen, we're going to
What's
move this way.
happening?
I don't know
This
what's
way?
happening. I can't think
Okay.
straight.
No.
My friends, how we doing today? It's May. It's summer. You look like summer is here. I
That's
like it.
what I was going for. Thanks, Gary.
Okay, you brought in summer. You brought in spring, summer, everything. My friends, how we doing? Yes, and if you're online, like Dylan is going to be online in a second, because I know he is. He's in the room. Reach out, send some notes. I see some notes coming already. One's mine, so that's strange. I see you, Sandy, and everyone else. Good stuff, Jen.
Yeah.
We've got a lot going on today. We are going to do a few things. We're going to talk about, Jonathan's going to talk about Tressa, because I know we just love that Tressa conversation. However, he's got some good news with it. So don't stress about the Tressa, Colin. Speaking of Colin, Colin's going to share with us something that he and a couple of the other OPs have launched this year. We've all heard about Gary Keller's Top 200. And in Canada, we didn't have something similar. So Colin, Sandy McKay, Andre Chin have created something very similar. In fact, some of our agents are already a part of it. I know you have,
Yeah,
Jen?
I have.
Pretty good.
Pretty great. Pretty great.
Yeah, excellent stuff. In fact, excellent stuff. What else we got? Nicole here talking about our mortgage update and things that we can leverage her for and support our clients. That's a big conversation. And I'm going to do something with Colin. You know, we do it from time to time on the market mashup, and we're going to do a few things. One, we're going to look at some of the broker-based stats and how we can leverage that for our sellers.
Yep.
The other piece we're going to do is I've shared with you in the past what I believe you should share, excuse me, with your CMAs. But I've never shown you what it looks like. So I'm going to show you what it looks like today, and Colin's going to kind of walk us through that as well with us. So, Jen, what do we got going on? We've got a lot of things here. So I'm going to do a few things. I should probably let you talk instead of hugging the microphone.
This is perfect for me.
Yeah.
You keep going.
All good, all good. Okay, so we're going to do something like this. Like this. Yeah, on deck, all of that kind of stuff. We already just talked about that. You capped. So
Yeah.
I'm going to hand this part over to you and celebrate our two agents that just capped here.
Yeah, Megan's in the room. Congratulations, Darren Maltese and Miga Waller on capping this month.
That's right. And we've had Jen and her team have done a tremendous job on, and you really inviting and introducing KW. Sorry, I don't want this slide, but so we're going to do this. That's from last month. I apologize. Welcome to KWC. A number of new names here.
Yeah, we got Austin, Nilesh, Sabina, Shauna, Carrie, and Nicholas. And more to come.
Excellent, and lots more to come. We all talk about pipelines, and Jen has a pipeline with your help as well. Like we talk about pipelines and who's in our pipeline to do transactions. And to kind of peel that onion away a little bit, Jen, you have that same sort of pipeline and who she's talking to and in knowing the fact that we can support their business. So if you know someone out there that could
Yeah.
use the support from Jen and Dylan and KWRC, send them this way, right?
Add them to the list. Yeah, and I have the same model you guys do, and I review it every month with my coach, and we talk about who's next, and we've got my list of upcoming people and who's down the road, and it's all about tracking, understanding where you're at and who you need to talk to.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, we've got some big events. So let's do a couple of things. Red Day, our goal was to raise $8,000, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But Jen, share with us kind of a little bit about the day, a little video slideshows going up on the side there. It's just going
Yeah.
to keep looping.
It's going to keep going. All
Yeah.
right. Well, the day was amazing for everybody that was a part of it. Thank you so much for coming out and for helping and for celebrating. We had the car washes running at both the Keswick office and at the Aurora office. But of all accounts, and I know Keswick's going to be happy to hear this, they did raise a little bit more money than the Aurora office. So well done, Keswick. Thank you for that. And we had agents having a great time. We had dinosaurs. We had music. We had mimosas. What?
And car washes.
Sorry, Colin's distracting me. He's being a backseat driver right now. I have no idea what he's saying. Anyway, and we had car washes. We raised just over $4,000 at the end of the day. Thank you so much for the donations and then the cars coming through. The math, the way it worked out, we cleaned over 120 cars that day. So a pretty impressive turnout from our community as well to support us. And we are going to continue working to raise our goal of the $8,000 for our $1 Million Smiles build. We are not too far away from covering the cost of the actual playground. We need about $600 more, I believe, to hit that goal. And then we have some, obviously, we want to do lunch and promote it and do all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, excellent. My friends, we have a big goal of $8,000 as Jen shared with you. From that perspective, we're halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing some math the other day, and I know in different times it's difficult sometimes to give. However, for I think most of us, we're in a position where we can give, and we're giving back to our community. And the easy math on this, my friends, if we have approximately 230 families in our KWRC family, we'll call it. You can see the math there. $20 each gets us well past that goal. And I know we can do that together. And if you've already given, thank you. A tremendous, huge, and thank you.
Absolutely.
Perhaps there's some more that you can provide as well. And for those that haven't had the opportunity yet, here's a great way to do it. If we all committed to $20 each, we can nail that. And I know a family within York Region here would be tremendously grateful as they were last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. So we can do it, right? We can do it. I'm seeing some yeses here. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And guys, if you want to donate the 20, just send Steph a message or the tracker that I apologize for spamming you guys with for the last 2 weeks. You can add it on there as well if you want to. You can just email Steph at MCA@KW Realty Centers and just say, hit me 20 more, and we'll do that on the AR also. So,
Excellent,
yeah.
of course. Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of giving and taking, I know I give a lot of golf balls away.
Yeah.
Jen, talk to us about our golf tournament.
Yeah, our golf tournament is coming up. It is on June 6th at Bethesda Grange, so it's super close to us. We are partnering with the Legacy. Out on golf carts. We're maybe going to have some bevies flying around the course a little bit. We're going to have some people on the holes. We have some competitions planned. There's prizes, there's dinner, there's lunch, there's music, there's golf, there's... Sign up, get a foursome registered, please. We are raising money for the charity Food for Kids, which is an Ontario-based charity that provides hot meals and foods for our local schools throughout the year. So they deliver over 4,000 meals every single month to our different schools to help with their early breakfast programs, their after-school programs, and even some weekend programs that the schools are running. So our goal is to help raise money to make sure that the kids in Ontario have access to food and to meals, and tying it into our collective goal throughout the year of supporting the children throughout our community, as we're doing with $1 Million Smiles as well. So that's what we're fighting for. We're going to have a lot of fun on the day of, enjoying ourselves and getting out there. But please, please, please register a foursome. If you can't do that, and you can help us with sponsorship by either referring us somebody or even sponsoring yourself if you want to, please do that as well. We are just forever grateful for being able to give back to our communities and say thank you.
Excellent. Well said. Well said. Okay, moving on. We've got a few big events, training events. So talk to us about the one with Ian Davies here.
Yeah, so Ian Davies, most of you probably know, some of you maybe don't, is one of our regional directors in Keller Williams, Canada. He was a top producing agent, he was a team leader, and now he helps run the region and grow the region. He's giving us a day out of his busy schedule next week on Tuesday to teach the course Win with Sellers. It's a KW course. Some of us have been through it before, but a lot of us haven't. It hasn't been taught in our office in a while. This is an in-person event. He's driving here from Burlington to be with us and do this. You're going to be talking about how to convert sellers at the table, how to get listing contracts signed, how to get properties sold, how to get raving fans and referral and repeat business. It's from 10 to 3 on Tuesday the 21st. Please register. We want this room full. For everybody obviously who's northern and out of our local area, there will be a Zoom link shared with you. For everybody else, put in your calendar, come in for the day. It's free. He's giving us his time to help you grow your business.
Ian's a great communicator.
Yeah.
You talk to someone that knows how to create relationships, he's the guy. So if you want to come see and witness that in person, that's the one. Okay, I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger, Jen, but talk to us about this one here.
So this is an opportunity that came to us a few months ago. We've been working on getting it on the calendar. Alex Lupke is a trainer and speaker. He specializes in marketing and social media marketing. He teaches with Trub. He's done stuff with Aurea. He's done stuff with Humber College, taught at local brokerages across Ontario and Canada as well. And he is basically going to give us 2 days back to back. It's $90 if we get 25 agents registered. It's $60 if we get 35 agents registered. So if you want to save yourself some money, just help me get some more people committed. But he will be spending 2 days teaching you the science of marketing. So essentially how we market, why we market, how to structure our business, how to use our platforms to get us more money, both through email marketing, through social media marketing, and of course through word of mouth marketing. The course comes highly, highly recommended. He actually teaches 4. This was the one that I picked out of the 4 because I thought it was the one that we would most likely want to add into our business right now, especially with all the AI and social media and all that stuff is going on. So again, please register. $90. It could go down to $60 if we get enough registrants. It is in person only. And honestly, it's not a huge cost to learn how to market your business effectively and get more deals out of it. You know, that you need like a 0.5 of a deal to cover that cost.
0.5 of a deal.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sign me up.
That's my math. Yeah.
I like it. I like your math. Good stuff. Okay, moving on. Okay, before we do this, there's something that maybe it's the next slide here. No, it's not. That's okay. I'm all over the place here, Jen. Don't worry about me.
I know where you're going.
I know where you're going. I know where I'm going. So we are going to talk about FinTracker, and it's an app that you can download to your phone. I know some of you have heard about it, and others are like, what is this? Mm-hmm. Who loves doing the compliance and the FinTrack piece? Our broker record, our compliance officer, Gail. My friends, I don't know about you, but I've been using FinTracker for probably 7 or 8 years, and it is phenomenal, Jen. Yeah. It doesn't allow me to mess up. And I know I like to mess up my paperwork. People will tell you. FinTracker doesn't allow you to do that because you really can't submit anything, right, unless you've got all the appropriate fields. And especially with the new rating system, Jonathan's saying yes, with the new rating system, it will do that for you. You just have to answer the questions. And the best part is once you have it, you can scan the driver's license on your phone. It auto-populates a lot of the information. You enter it in, and then there's an option to email it to the front desk, to the office, so they have that for that transaction record. The other cool thing, Jen, I wish I had it on screen to show you, is we're not always in front of our clients. Agree? Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for agreeing. you can send a request from FinTracker to my client Dylan. It'll prompt him what to do, like scan his driver's license. So Dylan, we're doing a deal later, by the way, which is outstanding. So use that. The other piece here that I've only recently learned about is there's also a desktop version of it.
Yep.
So if you're sitting on your desktop and you want to send it off, do that. And I can make sure all those links are available. But download the app, FinTracker, use it. We all have access to it. It's already connected with our office. Jonathan's like, you go, Gary, preach it.
Yeah.
But trust me, my friends, I don't think Gail or Jonathan or the team ever want to see a handwritten FinTracker ever again, or a FinTrack, right? I just called Jonathan out.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did. We finally got him.
We got him. But I know you and Dylan and Mike have been telling the coaching students to use it. We're
Yes,
telling everyone
yeah.
to use it.
And I was we had our Simcoe Mastermind on Monday. That's where this came up, where we were chatting, and everybody was like, I don't use it. And you don't have to go back and like chase them. You just take a picture of their ID or you scan it right on the spot. And if you go into Treb, you don't even have to give them the links. If you log into Treb on the right-hand side on the main home screen, the link to FinTracker is right there. Super easy, or just download it, have it on your phone like everything else that we do. Make your lives easier, and then your compliance will be better. You'll stop getting command kickbacks. We don't have to bug you so much. It's great for everybody.
Excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
FinTracker. Everyone in here should have it on their phone, except for maybe Stephanie, but everyone else should. Jonathan and Gail, you're up next. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary and Jen. A little bit about history on FinTracker. As a matter of fact, I tried FinTracker. It's amazing. It's very difficult to add those rating numbers, isn't it? So FinTracker is great. Maybe, should I say, Gary, unless you use FinTracker, we'll decline all your
Ouch.
compliance.
Gail's like, yes, make that happen.
Not as of yet, but it was really difficult to do it on paper. Even for myself, I tried both on the app, the web, and on paper. And I think the mobile app is by far the best of the three. FinTracker actually started from the web, actually. They had a website that you have to go to in order to do the FinTrack. But ever since the mobile came, it's been great. So please use the FinTracker app. One thing that I want to talk about before I bring Gail on board to discuss a few things is I want to talk about your RICO insurance. You know, is it $450 or now has it been $5 or now it's like $1,600 with the ORWP, right? It's probably going to go up to like 10,000. Anyways, that insurance doesn't necessarily cover you for errors and omissions. And I want to qualify that. The reason why I say this is because there are things which you as an agent may do that's outside of the practice of real estate, which would prevent errors and omissions not to cover you. For example, if you act like a home inspector, but you're not, it may not cover you. If you act like a mortgage broker, but you're not, it may not cover you. If you blatantly do things that are against TRESA outside of your normal practice, it may not cover you. And I can't say what it covers and what it doesn't. But just like car insurance, if you go around just crashing into people, your car insurance may not cover you. If you drive, over 50 kilometers? What's that called? Racing or stunt driving. Your insurance may not cover you. Drunk driving, I should say, under the influence driving, it may not cover you. I don't know everything about insurance on the auto part, but on the RICO insurance part, please stay within the lane of practicing as a realtor with transactions. And that's one of the reasons why we propose 3 different, let's say, home inspectors or lawyers when we recommend, you know, other practitioners. We also, you know, don't say we are lawyers or home inspectors or mortgage, you know, or remediators of asbestos or mold and things like that, right? It's a great thing, but once we start getting fined, it's not just in the thousands, it could be in the hundreds of thousands. And you really want to, I don't want to go see you guys, you know, have to sell your house because of something that you've done on your practice, right? Having said that, Gail, we just went through TRESA. Stressa for a lot of you, including for myself, 6 months. 6 months of TRESA. I think we fared pretty well, don't you think, Gail?
Congratulations on making it to 6 months into TRESA. From our vantage point, we're really proud of a lot of our partners. It's very evident when you've taken the training, when you've come to the classes, when you're logging into TREB and ARIA to learn everything that you can. This has been a massive, massive transition. And we're so proud of you for jumping in and learning along with us. I still think there's changes coming down the pipe, but it's clear who has been doing the training, and we appreciate it because it makes our jobs easier to protect you. For those of you who've been out doing all the training and learning and practicing and sharing what you've learned, thank you. Anything else?
Yeah. All the forms, right? All the
forms.
the forms under TRESA, all of you guys have recognized that there are changes, have been implementing that with your practice. And if you didn't, you started to call us. And those calls back in December, January, February was really high and started to dwindle. And I'm getting only, a handful of calls. And it's just to qualify a couple things out of those forms as well. It's not just like, oh, I didn't know this form existed. It's none of that. So we really appreciate and congratulate all of you and our brokerage for the adaptation of the new TRESA legislation. Thank you so much.
I want to add, can I add one thing on that?
Yeah.
There is one of our education courses that we can take for our 2-year cycle is apparently very, very good at covering everything to do with TRESA. I actually am just signing up to take that. I'm not due for another year, but I've heard it's so good. And I think you sent out an email last week saying we all should take it. It's really, really critical that we know this as well as we can to protect our clients and ourselves. And before I hand the mic back to you, can I just talk about the coffee with the Office of the Broker? Oh, you want to? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to mention that course, the level of importance. So RICO monitors the brokerages and the members within the brokerage to see how many of us have done that course. And over the course of 2 years, we all need to do that because our licenses are coming up within 2 years. However, they want us to see a higher level of participation of that course or completion of that course at a sooner than later time within the 2 years.
Shifting gears to something a little bit more fun, the regular coffee with the Office of the Broker of Record that we do on the 3rd Friday of every month. We've got our agent up in Sutton, Bella, who has graciously offered to host it this coming Friday morning. She has a bed and breakfast, and she's prepared to make breakfast for those of us who want to go. So instead of doing it in Newmarket, we're going up to Sutton. Look on our Facebook group, or it's been sent out, I think, possibly from the front desk, but I'll confirm that, to see. There's a link. You do need to register because, of course, we need to know how many people are showing up, and it is filling up. So if you are interested, sign up and come participate. We have some grand conversation at those coffee mornings. It's actually a lot of fun.
Just to add to that, Bella owns a chicken farm. So we're going to have fresh eggs. Fresh eggs.
That's the clincher.
I'm not sure about the fresh chicken, but we'll have fresh eggs. Do you know the difference between a fresh egg and a non-fresh egg? I don't. So I'll learn. If you want to learn about it, please join us on Friday.
Nicole, you got to follow that up. Yeah. Everyone's Googling now, Jonathan. What's the difference between a fresh egg and they do taste different? That's excellent. Where am I going here? We're going here. Okay, more. Come on up, Nicole. We all know that things are a little different. Yeah, things are a little, lightness with what's going on. Use the microphone there. And excellent. I'm going to see if I can bring up. You go talk, and I'm
Am I
just
in the
going to do
middle?
things
I never
over
stay
here.
in the right spot.
You're good.
Hi guys. So yes, different. Lots of stuff going on. Honestly, what I wanted to chat about today is just kind of really what I'm seeing with the lenders. And I've kind of been having conversations with all of you guys. A lot of you guys kind of know what the deal is right now. Lenders are being a pain, for lack of a better way of saying it. So kind of just really emphasizing what I've said to you guys before in the sense of it's really, really important. Get your deals in front of the right person right away and up front, and make sure they're being structured like right off the get-go. So here's what a couple different things that I'm seeing right now. It's more and more, I've said this to you guys before, where deals are coming in and clients are going into branches. It's usually starting with a rate thing. So even if you've brought them to your broker before and we're all good to go and we're set, they're going into the branches, and the branches are literally notorious. I can see you shaking your. They're notorious for literally like trained to basically steal the deal from your clients as soon as they're going in to get deposit receipts. So what's happening is they're going and they're kind of swindling the clients and saying that, hey, we can offer you such and such rate. And it's because rates are so sensitive right now. They are obviously, kind of just chatting, and they don't understand, no matter how many times I tell them or you tell them, that just having a quick conversation with the banks, an application is in before they even really know it. And then our hands are tied. So it's just being transparent with the conversations up front and kind of mentioning this to clients. I'm doing it on my side. But the reason why this is becoming a problem, it's not just really a rate thing. It's because if the deals on a very high level from these branches are basically saying, like, oh yeah, this is not going to be a problem. We can do this for you. We can do this for you. And then they waive conditions or whatever the case is. And then it's a problem because the people that they're speaking to are just literally there to solicit the business. And then when it actually gets to underwriting, it's a problem and deals are falling through. And I'm like, there's people in this room with me right now that have seen this firsthand, but it's happening more and more. I'm honestly going to say probably 3/4 of the time that I've spent in the last 2 weeks have been just fixing these situations. The other thing that's really happening right now, which is interesting and kind of keeping with this structuring, I mentioned to you guys before, there's a lot of information floating around about people being worried that banks are all of a sudden, not going to qualify people for anything more than 4.5 times income and things like that. The reality of what's happening is it's not an individual case by borrower case by case basis. It's federally regulated institutions, so the big banks basically, and their book of business. So they're really like the feds are basically really cracking down on the type of books of business that each of these banks have. So all these exceptions that your brokers are getting and that we're able to get are now starting to become few and far between. So you guys know I pride myself on being able to really, really push the A lenders to get B-level ratios and exceptions. And that is going to become more and more difficult. We're already seeing it now. So these changes are going to come into effect next year. But basically, the lenders are being really particular with these exceptions. So when you're, going to your brokers and your brokers are telling you, okay, hey, we need a condition of financing because we have to make sure we can get this exception, we need to make sure that these things are going to go through. So it's becoming more and more challenging to make sure that the work is being done up front, because the lenders are being really particular with what exceptions they're allowing. So again, just making sure that you guys are aligning yourself with people who are doing that work up front. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this is a new one, this is really, really surprising, lenders are starting to communicate with each other. This is not a thing that we've I can see, yep, shaking your head. It's a thing. So what I mean by that is, in a situation, let's just say two things. Say a client is shopping around. Say your client comes to you and said, okay, hey, I'm having a hard time, tried to get a purchase done, couldn't work it, you bring it over to me now. I'm trying to get something done on my side. lenders now are actually, because they can see where the deal's been shopped, so to speak, from the credit bureaus and things like that, they're actually picking up the phone and communicating with each other and saying, hey, Scotiabank, by the way, this is what we're seeing. Not sure if you're seeing this on your side. They're literally communicating. This is happening with the monoline lenders as well too. So you've got First National, for example, who underwrites for a lot of the other banks and stuff. They're all communicating with each other. So this is also going to be an issue where your clients, for example, say you're tapping into equity in another home and you're refinancing, and we're trying to be strategic on my side to make sure that we're, trying to be, coordinate closing dates so that nobody really knows we're doing a refinance yet to take out the money so that we can use that towards the purchase. Because otherwise, if we disclose it, we have to, mention that and it changes the deals. So they are all communicating now. So again, this is where relationships with the lenders and the people that you're working with are really coming to play here, because we're starting to see this more and more now. So fortunately, not necessarily the best news that I have for you guys, but I just wanted you guys to be mindful of it because we're seeing it quite a bit, and I've had probably 3 or 4 calls in the last week and a half, just giving me a heads up on these kinds of things as well too. So that's all I got really.
Nicole, remind us how to get a hold of you.
Oh yes, Instagram. We gotta put this up there.
I forgot to put it up.
At Mortgagees. You guys have my email as well. What else do I
Excellent.
got? You guys know how to get.
Oh, you know what I wanted to mention is last week you had sent, and we had sent out a home buyer's guide.
Oh, yes.
So talk to us a little bit about that. And if our friends didn't get it, we can make sure that's available. But that is a tremendous guide that does what for people?
It's so, especially with not even necessarily just first-time home buyers, but this is like a piece that I use with like literally every single one of my clients, because they just, even if they're looking to sell and buy and upgrade, some of the information in there they just don't necessarily understand. So you having this guide to be able to just kind of give them as part of your your buyer presentation or whatever the case is, even the listing presentation if you're buying and selling, it answers so many of the clients' questions. And honestly, any of the realtors that I've worked with that make this part of their presentation, just to be able to give them that information up front is night and day, because it's the questions that everybody singly asks. And even if I'm explaining to them, if they're speaking to me, which I do, they still want something tangible to go back to and refer to, because it's a lot of information all at once. So having a nice little handy, book to be able to give to clients. And if anybody wants to like co-brand or do something a little bit differently for yourselves, just reach out to me. I'm happy to do that.
Yes, that everyone should be on that. And what Nicole and I have been talking about too is providing more of that those tangible items. So look out for that going forward from Nicole, whether it's how to buy your first property or any sort of booklets like that. Because as you mentioned, something tangible, something that not only you can email the people, but print these off and take them. You don't have to print 100 of them off. If you're going to be visiting with 5 or 6 clients, go print them off,
exactly,
right? Yeah.
And have them. And if anybody who's paid attention to and looked at the document as well too, one of the pieces in there has to do with down payment information, and that's a big one as well too. I don't really see that in a lot of these books, and that's just a nice heads up for clients to understand what money movement and things like that looks like. That's a big thing on my side in terms of down payment, all the different types of funds, where money goes. So it just kind of gives them a nice do's and don't on a very high level, so it's not overwhelming, but just stuff that they should know before, sometimes it becomes a bit of a headache.
Excellent. Nicole, appreciate your time
Always.
and everything
Thanks,
that you're
guys.
doing for us. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right, I've got a terrible, terrible egg joke. Terrible.
Can't be John.
It might be worse than Jonathan's. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Omelet.
Omelette who?
Omelet smarter than I look? Told you it was terrible. Yeah. I had to look for a long time for that terrible joke. You're laughing more at that than anything else. Okay, there's a few things. My friends, I love podcasts. I love the MRA podcast, and tying into what Jen was talking about remind me of the man's name that's coming to train us on marketing.
Alex Lepke.
Yes, Alex Lepke. What Jason Abrams who he just interviewed is Rory Vaden, and I know Jen and I think Dylan and Colin were a part of his session down at Family Reunion. Now I'm really annoyed that I wasn't there. So if you want a great podcast on how you should be personally branded, we all think of, and he gets into this with Jason, we all think about logos and my hat and things like that. It has nothing to do with that. And I've only listened to 30 minutes of it, and I want more. I want more. I highly recommend that podcast with Rory Vanden, Vaden. Look him up. Tremendous trainer. His clients are John Maxwell and a bunch of other people. That's who he's helping to brand, and it's phenomenal. Good stuff. Okay, next up. Colin, why don't you come join me, or you take the microphone here. Value squared is a big thing that we've been starting to hear about, especially out of the States, as they're, in a sense, catching up to how Canada does transactions and handles clients, meaning working for buyers. And with that, we get the ripple effect of some of the amazing things that are value squared. I'm going to hand it over to you, and you share with us what's going on with that, and of course the top 10%.
Okay, certainly. Thank you, Gary, and thank you for everyone who came before. Jen, for just bringing us up to date in our charity work that we've been doing. Nicole for the mortgage update. Jonathan, of course, for broker update. Value Square. Over the last year, what we've seen, actually the last couple of months, we've had Gary Keller, Jason Abrams, and Jay Papasan. They've all went into us articulating our value as real estate agents. And they've ran 3 or 4 courses online over the last couple of months. And they've just completed that. We will be running a course. We're going to have Wayne Clements and Michael Tuff. They will be teaching that course. So they've sent us all the material. And these are just the information that Gary, Jay, and Jason have all put together. And when you're in front of your client, how you can really articulate your value. And by articulating your value, you can charge your 6% or whatever it is that you're comfortable with. The truth is, we know most agents, when they get in front of their clients, they can't argue their value. And their clients has a stronger value, and their clients beat them down on their commission. So you're really going in, really knowing what your value is. I know if I were to ask most of us in the brokerage, what is your value proposition as a real estate agent? How many of us can really articulate what we bring to that client, how we represent that client? So Value Square is that course where you really go through and you build out your own values and what you're presenting. I mean, something as simple where we would think every real estate agent provides photos for their clients. We can say, yes, that is true. However, it's not. How many photos do we see online with it's done by an iPhone, or rarely is it a Samsung?
Never.
Never it's a Samsung. But how many times do we see that? So is that a value now that you're providing? Yes, you're going to have a list of your values. Then you're going to go, what are some areas you're going above and beyond to really represent your client? A lot of Value Square is also in this book, the Millionaire Real Estate Playbook. We just ordered a number of copies, and I said a number because I don't know the exact number. We ordered a few. I think it's with shipping including it, it's about $30 per booklet. This is really great value. Wayne and Michael, they're going to be teaching that course, and they're going to be condensing all of this into a one afternoon course. So that, I think that is June 8th, sometime around that. Jen, we'll have that out in our calendar. So please keep an eye out for that Value Square. And if you haven't already, just search YouTube Value Square. You'll be able to see Jason Abrams, Gary Keller, and Jay Papasan really go through some of that. Yep. Jay, listen to Gail has a huge crush on Jay. That's why. Now, this is something here, Bigger Life Mastermind. This is something myself, Andre Trin, and Sandy McKay, we started hosting this year. It's a Bigger Life Mastermind for the top 10% of all Keller Williams agents across Canada. So to be a part of the 10% of all Keller Williams agents in Canada, all you have to do is $250,000 in GCI. That's it. That's it, and you're a part of the top 10%. We have, in that list, we have close to 350 plus agents. every month we're hovering just under 100 agents on our mastermind. We've had the last some of the great ones we've had. We've had Jason Abrams was a part of that as well. That one is available on YouTube. I think that's the only one we put on YouTube because it's a closed mastermind and we want to keep the integrity of the group. The one with Jason Abrams, it's available on YouTube. Please take a look at it. But this is where we're bringing some of the best agents across Canada, KW agents, and we're discussing. The truth is, we're not telling you how to buy and sell more homes because to be at the top 10%, you know that already. It's how do you live a bigger life? Are there auxiliary businesses that you can create? Are there different ways to look at different opportunities? These are the things that we're discussing. And the truth is, that came from the idea of the book Think and Grow Rich. Many of you know the book Think and Grow Rich. It's by Napoleon Hill. And he, during that time, he interviewed, I think it was 500 of the top business owners in all of the US. And what he found out that they all had in common, they all were a part of a mastermind group. That is the power of a mastermind group. A mastermind group allows you to think bigger. It allows you to solve problems together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. And that is what a mastermind group allows you to do. It allows you to learn from everyone else in that group, where now you're shrinking decades of experience into days. That is what a mastermind group is. So for those of you who are on the cusp of, generating over 250 GCI, reach out to us. We'll get you included in that group. And those part of that group, don't wait until you hit 250 to be a part of a mastermind group. I would say start creating a mastermind group right now. I know, Jen, you've been facilitating a lot of mastermind groups. With the Simcoe Mastermind, you've been facilitating a lot over the last couple of months. If you're not a part of those mastermind groups, create your own. The truth is, to have a mastermind group, you just need one more person. Just one more person outside of you. You might be doing 3 transactions and your goal is to do 10 this year. Just say, guys, I'm doing 3. Who wants to hit 10 within the next 12 months? Okay, let's just sit down and mastermind. And we're going to share ideas and we're going to think better and we're going to grow. When selecting people to be a part of your mastermind group, very important, it's you select people that are of a growth mindset. They're not coming to the mastermind group saying, oh my gosh, did you see they didn't reduce the rates or the doom and gloom of the market. You're looking for people of a growth mindset. And that's why we pull together the Bigger Life Mastermind, because we're going to grow together. We're going to grow much further together. So those of you who are a part of the top 10%, you will see that in your emails. Every month we send that out. You're a part of it. Not most of our agents here at KWRC have attended it. We've had a few agents who it didn't fit in their schedule. But most important, those of you who are on that cusp, I would say stretch to hit that 250. And if you're not there as yet, just create your own mastermind group. Join the mastermind groups that our office have, just so that you can go much further together. Anything else for me to touch on, Gare?
Lots.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, that was excellent. That's excellent. Those masterminds, those calls are phenomenal. They're about an hour long. And I got to tell you, it's not what you expect. All right, Jen's saying yes. It's not how to build and how to do more transactions. It's how to have an impact to those around you. It's phenomenal. And I think when Jason starts, he's like, he's had some struggles over the last year or two, right? And he gets into that, and it's eye-opening because now all of a sudden you find another avenue on how you can relate to people. And we all have struggles.
Absolutely.
Right?
And Jason starts the podcast off with, you might think I'm here, but I don't have all the monies in my bank account. I'm failing in this area. I'm failing here. So now everyone can relate. And then he just talks about just building a bigger life. what are the things you need. So if you haven't, please check that out. It's going to be amazing mastermind group there.
Fancy. Okay, we're gonna do a few things. Thanks, Gail. Appreciate that.
Gary and his jokes.
Yeah. I want to share the screen a little bit bigger, and I think it's this
Yep,
one.
make us
So here we go. Make us small. That's right. Okay, we're gonna talk about a few things. I said we talk about Broker Bay. Don't worry. I know it's a little small in here, but those that are watching online, they can make it big. Here's what. That's your saying. Here's
Yes,
what.
here's what.
Yeah. I don't know if we share these stats enough or look at these stats enough, especially with our clients. And I'm pulling up stats here for detached homes in Newmarket, and I'll show you the same slide for Aurora. And you can click, as I click on, let me get the little pencil out here so you can see what I'm looking at. You can click on these items here and it'll populate that graph below that you're seeing. So I've selected showings, and for the 235 detached homes for the last 30 days in Newmarket, there's been 3,700 showings. You can start to do the math. Well, how many showings per day? And you can look at that. Well, if we look per day, we know that we're under 170-ish, which means not every home is getting a showing. And you can help set the expectation for your sellers. It's a great tool to do that with. What I always kind of hone in on is the last stat here, and that is the average showings before sold.
Now, why that is important?
Because I want my seller to know if we don't reach, in this case, on average, 23.6, 24 showings, we may not get this home sold.
So we're struggling. We've been on the market now for 6 weeks. We've had 2 showings, and they're upset that we don't have an offer.
Dylan, what do you say?
So we gotta slash that price.
We gotta slash that price. Okay, that's the used car salesman with the big floppy balloon behind him. That's where my mind went. This is where having that consult during your CMA is so important. So you come out with that right price, and you can show people this stat. Show people these stats that if we're not getting enough showings, it's definitely a pricing problem. Outside of marketing, because we can market till the cows come home at a home that's overpriced and overvalued, and we're still not going to get showings, right? Personally speaking, I know that for a fact. So getting that pricing right and showing the stats here, and this is incredibly important. We can do the exact same thing for Aurora. 192 available listings detached, 66 of them sold, moving along, 2,700 showings. And you can see how that's moved down month over month as what I'm looking at here. And I've to select this, I've just clicked on the tab here that says month over month so I can see what that previous month or the previous 30 days looked like. And again, in Aurora, you're looking at, we'll call it 22 showings before an offer, or sorry, before a home is sold. So having that expectation for your sellers, it is incredibly important because you want to set them up for success, right? And it's really, really, really important to share these stats. There's lots of information on these, the new listings, the sold, showings, offers, and how many offers came in on all those properties. And I'll say probably 95% of all listings are tracked through Broker Bay. There's a couple other brokerages that don't use it, but it's a fair representation
Of the market.
of the market. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay,
All right. So I see a lot of lines here.
you see a lot of lines. We're going to look at a lot of lines. What I want you to focus on, this is right off of obviously the Treb housing market charts. You know me, I'm visual. I love a good chart. And the orange represents 2024. And you can see the other colors represent the previous years. And this is, we've all heard this, we've seen it in the news, Treb new listings, this is all listings, and you can see that number obviously have a significant increase, right?
Mhm.
16,941 listings last month.
16,941, that's a number
Way to
Dylan just
go.
knows off the top of his head. Boom! I feel like that number's coming up later, I don't know. We also know that the sales have been down versus this time last year. Here's April that column there, and you can see that's down, and just marginally down from, we'll call it marginally down from the previous month. The next chart I'm going to show you, because this is what people see and this is what people hear, right? Way more new listings, sales are down, and yet, if we can see here, this is the average price. Our average price is
Slightly higher.
We'll call it slightly, a smidgen. Smidgen is a technical term, and when I'm looking at charts, slightly up. And it has been, again, this is for Big Toronto Real Estate Board. In Newmarket or Aurora or Keswick or out in Grey Bruce area, it might be slightly different. Track those numbers. However, now I'm not writing on here. It's okay. You get the idea. It's going up ever so slightly from where it was last year. So this is the educated conversation that you're having, along with that broker bay conversation, right?
So now, using this information with my clients, with my sellers, what is the best way for me to use this information? Because most people are afraid of charts and graphs. What is the best way for me to break this down where it's simple?
Yeah, looking at this, for a lot of us, we're going to glaze over because there's too many lines there. Or give me a pie chart because that's how I like to look. Or just give me the number. What I've found in my experience, and I've shared this in the past, the market report, this image that you're seeing off to the side of the screen, you tell I'm a little dyslexic. I couldn't figure out if that was left or right. And Jen's like, yeah, you go, Gary. That's what I share with my clients. And here, I'm going to break it down for you and how easy it is. So this is for the last 3 months. I always like looking at stats over a 3-month period. And I'm going to break it down between townhouses, semis, and detached. So for the majority of the time, we're sitting in front of a family or someone that wants to sell a detached home. Here's what I do. I'm going to break this down a little bit. I highlight the green. I have this piece of paper in my CMA. I take out my pen. I say, we're only going to focus. Now my pen's not working. So imagine my pen. My pen was, imagine my pen was working and I had just highlighted the detached or the green. We're only going to be looking at the green columns. And which means is in February, there's active listings, detached homes in Stouffville from 98. March was 119. April's 150 available homes for sale. And then what sold was 30, 48, and 41. So 41 of those homes out of the 150 sold, which takes us back to that pricing, right? Always takes us back to that.
And I like what you're saying where we're talking about detached home because you're in front of a seller that has a detached home. We're only focusing on that. So now I'm no longer glazing over this chart. I'm just looking at the green. And now I can call out, okay, in February they were 98 active, 119, 150, and now I can interpret this chart.
Yeah, my pen's working again, sorry.
Okay.
The other way to look at this is, like Dylan, by looking at these numbers, you can figure out how many months of inventory we have, right? Sorry?
3.
Yeah, approximately 3 months worth of inventory, which is to say, for those that aren't following along, if nothing else came on the market, in about 3 months, everything would sell out, right? And that's how I share it with my clients, because some clients are bang on, they understand that the lingo in a sense, and some don't, right? Because their expertise is elsewhere. This is our expertise, so let's help them look at this. The other piece that we look at is I want to share with them what that medium price is. And again, we're only looking at the green because we're a detached home, and you can see that pricing back in February was 1.438 in Stouffville. We got up to 1.6, felt pretty handsome, and then we're down approximately $100,000 to 1.489. We call it 1.5. In my experience, when I've explained it like this, it becomes very easy for them to follow along, right? Because again, we're only looking at one thing, and it helps us with that pricing. The last piece of the puzzle that I share with them is the sell price to listing price. So if someone listed for $1 million, what do they get? And again, looking at the green here, we can see that it sold at 99%, 99%, 100%. Which is to say, if we sold at $1 million, we got to expect $1 million, right? I was just sharing with Colin. I was doing a CMA the other day with a client. They have a detached home, and he said, "Oh, look at the townhouses and semis. they were definitely, that sales strategy was much different because you can see it's all over 100%. So they priced it low and got over asking because there was a lot less of them for sale. When we have 140, 150 some odd listings, probably not the right strategy.
So you're telling me I can look at these charts and I can plan what my pricing strategy will be based on a detached versus a semi?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Numbers tell the story. Numbers also provide some indicators on what your sales strategy, your listing strategy, your pricing strategy, that was the word I was trying to get out, should be. Every now and then you have a unicorn and you can do something a little bit different, right? However, what we don't want to ever do different is our pricing. We can market differently.
Yes.
We can all do certain, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. We do all sorts of things differently, but when it comes to pricing, we got to follow the numbers there,
Yeah,
and allow your clients to digest it, right? And I know you do this. This might have been something I picked up from you in your listing presentations. Is how do you arrive at a listing or evaluation? How do you arrive at that number? And that's through the self-discovery piece.
Yeah.
Best way to land on that number, right? And this will also help support the comps that you bring in. This will help educate not only you, because if you're so let me back up a little bit. How do I get these numbers every month? From that Market Watch report. It's pretty easy. Takes about 5 minutes. And if I do it every month, I have this on a trailing note, and I just you can do this in Canva, PowerPoint, Keynote, I don't care what you do it in. If you keep track of it, it becomes really, really easy.
No, do you have a video somewhere online, because you're always making videos, of how to pull these stats?
I'm going to say yes, because I
Okay.
think I do from years ago. Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah. And like I said, it just, even if you don't have a CMA to do, some of us, sometimes we don't have one to do for this month. That's okay. But what it does give you is the insight into what's going on. And when you are talking to somebody, the research that you do, you'll be surprised what stays up here amongst all the other junk that I've got up here. It stays up there. And especially if you start using some of this information and start making some social media posts out of it, some short videos, anything like that. And that might not be your thing. Maybe you'd rather write than post and be online in front of a camera. Do that. Use this information though. Good stuff.
So now I see there's a chart here that talks about
yeah.
a balanced market, a buyer's market, and a seller's market. You'd ask the question to Dylan, what is the inventory we have? And Dylan said anywhere between 3 and 4 months. So based on that stat, what market are we in?
That tells us we're in a balanced market. And how I show people that, we're looking at this down here, and years and years and years and years of data and stats tells us that we are in a balanced market based on, and if I were to highlight this, we had 41 sales versus 150 available homes. That gives us the 3-ish, 3 and change, three, we'll call it 3 months of inventory, 3 plus. Well, that takes us right down to here. And that allows them to, again, some people like the numbers written out, some people are visual, but this keeps it as hopefully clear as day for them to kind of walk through this information. And this is the exact conversation I have with them. I do this during my CMA, right after I share with them how we sell homes, and just before we get into the actual comps. Because I want them in that frame of mind where they see something completely off the chart, so they have a valuation that doesn't quite align from this. It helps kind of get them onto that same page. Make sense?
And this brings it back to us articulating our value, right? We know the market, we study the market, we are the professional in the industry. This pulling the numbers, whether we have a client to work with that month or that week or not, we're on top of it. So now when we're sitting down in front of a client and they want to list at 1.2, you can really articulate why it's worth $1.05 million. Here are all the stats. This is what we've seen. We can list it here. However, we know the average listing in Aurora, it needs 22 showings before that home sells. You're coming in with this information. You're proposing your value. You're going up against someone who rolled out of bed, and decide that, okay, I'm going to come and list your home. However, I'm listing it for 1% less. You're showing your value. Now you can charge whatever you choose.
There you go. This is the Tom Brady, Pierre. I got you. Looks like a football play. When you're the Tom Brady of CMAs, you can your experience will, what a segue. Your experience will just shine through, right? And that value, the value will absolutely stand through. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So no, we're gonna keep going.
Oh, okay.
So I had a little fun, and you know, Dylan and Colin and I, we kind of like playing with ChatGPT. Thanks, Pierre. Have you ever looked at the Market Watch report, the 30 some odd pages, and there's just a lot of numbers, right? And it's where I get the numbers to obviously put into that previous couple of slides. And I thought to myself, what if I just uploaded this to ChatGPT and asked it some questions about it, and I got it to analyze it, do a bunch of other stuff. But here's what I did. And I thought this was really, the information I got back was really, really cool. So the prompt or the command that I told it to do after I uploaded the document was research the report, what questions should realtors be asking? And it does a whole bunch of stuff. So I have 5 questions here. And some of them are meant to be thought-provoking, and we maybe won't answer all of them, but it just kind of gives us a different perspective on what to do with this monthly report that we get every month. And some of us don't even acknowledge it, and that's all right. But for some that want a little bit more out of it or want to learn how to get more out of it, this was a neat way to play around with it. So the first question is, what are the underlying causes of the 5% decrease in home sales? Okay, what could they be? Let's maybe shout it. Interest rates. What else? Sorry? Inventory's up.
Interest rates.
Interest rates are up-ish. Up. All sorts of things. So just kind of one of those thought-provoking things, right? The next question here. Why are new listings up by 47%? Well, let's see answer to question 1. But how about this, right? Sometimes our clients are asking these questions and maybe we're not prepared to answer them. This helps us prepare, right, on answering some of these
What
questions.
I would even touch on there, Gare, as you upload, let's say, the report into, let's say, ChatGPT, have a conversation with it. There's a mode where you can just click and you start having the conversation, because you can start reading lots of words. Again, me personally, I start glazing over unless, I really need to read all of this. Now a conversation, it sticks more for me. And I have it in that conversation mode. So now when I'm in front of a client, I can really regurgitate what is being said.
Yeah, good stuff. You can get really creative with it and tell it to be one of the hardest clients you've ever had and ask me the really tough objection handler questions. You can have all sorts of fun with it. Anyways, I'm moving on. What segments of the market are most active? Because that's going to provide perhaps some opportunity for both you and your client, whether you're a buyer or a seller, right? I don't know if you're going to mention this, Dylan, when you're up here, but in the Durham area, there's a great opportunity now to move up, say, on that kind of that medium price range to the higher price range, because those homes are just sitting there.
Yeah.
Right. So getting some information out like that is an option too. How do these trends compare with historical data? We always want like dating back even to 3 months, so we can help tell the story. And this last one I absolutely love, because this is where we perhaps should spend some time. How should marketing strategies be adjusted based on this data? Okay, let's kind of brainstorm this a little mastermind over the next couple of minutes. What should we be doing with some of this data? I understand we may not know what this data is, but if we know that in subset segments, homes are sitting on market for 4, 5, 6 months, perhaps the entry level, like I don't have any, but I know some of us in our brokerage have condos listed downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they doing right now?
They're sitting.
Thank you,
nothing,
Dina.
Like nothing. You're not even getting showings.
Dina, do you have a listing down in one of those listings? So let's brainstorm for a couple of seconds here. What can we do to help get that going, apart from extra marketing? Because everyone can say extra. So we're gonna cut the price. That's one. What else can we do? Dylan says, cut it again. So we're going to cut the price and cut it again. Who should we be talking to? And then, okay, we got to give it away. Can you give it away to me? Probably not, right? But who should we be talking to? We need buyers.
Who are the buyers?
So exactly is where I'm going. Yeah, exactly. Who are the buyers? What's that buyer look like? And do we have to get laser focused on who that buyer is so we can create a marketing plan towards that buyer or towards the agent that represents that buyer?
Do a rent comparison in the downtown market versus an own comparison, and
Right.
show examples of properties where you can save the money and get that in front of buyers.
So Jen is saying a rent and buy comparison just to see the difference there and show it in front of buyers. Also doing a profile of who that buyer is. Are we in the school district? Are we in the financial district? Are we in the arts district somewhere? Who's that buyer? What does this ideal buyer look like? Where do they shop? What are they doing? Where do they hang out? And we market to that.
Create an irresistible offer.
Create an irresistible offer.
Where are we going to learn about that, Dylan?
I guess Dylan will touch a bit on that.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. So you can use chat for many different things. And this wasn't a sales pitch on Chat GPT, but this was just another way that we can get our brains thinking on perhaps doing things a little bit differently to help and support our clients.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
you,
Irresistible offer. Okay, we're going to invite Dylan to come up on screen. And he's going to talk to us about a few different things, one of it being irresistible offer. And Dylan, I'm going to just hand it over to you. I got to get your what do we call this thing? Not that camera. PowerPoint. That's it. So you stand there. Dylan Silvernagle, everybody.
Thanks, Gary. Hey, everyone. So my goal for today is that you're going to leave with something tangible that you can implement in your business that's going to either help you get more clients, generate more leads, reactivate your database, reactivate cold leads. And the concept that we're going to be talking about is irresistible offers, but I'm going to tone that back down a bit because I don't want to take up all of our time. I'm not teaching you a class here today. I'm just getting the conversation started that I firmly believe that realtors as an industry, we are not doing as well as other industries in terms of giving offers to our potential clients, to our leads, and to our database to spur on that type of that next step and to take some action. And the reason this conversation comes up is because we are in a slow market. We do have condos that are sitting. We have people sitting on the fence that are kind of playing chicken with, well, maybe the rates will come down. Sellers are holding on to high prices because when those rates do come down, I don't want to be the one that's sold for too low. Buyers are saying, I don't want to buy now when the rates are going to come down. I can save some money, right? So we're in a situation where there's a lack of decision making going on, and I don't believe us as realtors are doing enough to help encourage those decisions to be made. And so I had this discussion with one agent in particular this week that talked about a missed opportunity in their farm. So this potential lead, client, whatever, in their farm is somebody that they've known for years as they've been door knocking and farming that area. Relationship strong. They said, you're my agent no matter what. I'm 100% going with you, but now is not the time. I'm not ready to move now, blah, blah, blah. It's not right. And then sure enough, that agent sees the house come on the market a week later, right? And you're like, what's going on? Agent calls the person. I'm surprised. I see you're listed. What happened? We just spoke like a week ago and it wasn't the right time for you. And they said, you know what? I'm sorry. This wasn't about you, but somebody sent me a listing that spoke to me so much and I needed to have it. They sent me that listing. I felt obliged to go with them because they were the one that showed me the opportunity. And I'll be honest, it's just, I'm so excited about my new house. So thank you so much and blah, blah, blah. Right? So that stings for any agent, right? Stings. It's not that agent's fault. That agent was following up. They were doing all the things they were supposed to. They had just talked to that client or that potential client. And what they, as through our discussion, what we realized they were missing is they weren't prompting that potential lead with any types of offers. They weren't giving them something to make them take that next step because they had been in rapport and they said, now's not the right time. Well, have you ever said that now is not the right time and then literally a week later it's been the right time? Because we were just in Hawaii, Jen and myself, and we did a presentation with the Hilton to get us into their rewards program and equity stake share and stuff like that. And we went to the meeting, and before we got in, I'm like, Jen, we're definitely not buying this, right? And she's like, yeah, no, definitely not. And then I looked at her, I'm like, but there's a chance we could, right? And she's like, yeah, there's definitely a chance we could, because that's one of the things we do. But so, anyways, we go through the presentation. Salesperson was lousy, by the way. We go through the presentation, and we acknowledge, like, wow, there's a lot to offer here. Like, it's not. We told them very upfront, it's not the right time for us now. But we love everything that you're saying. This is phenomenal. It sounds great. You've got a great product, but it's not for us right now. We leave. We come home. I don't think we've received any follow-up from this person yet. No follow-up has come from the Hilton. And if it does, it'll come from Hilton Central, not that sales rep. And we're in the car, and my dad was nice enough to pick us up from the airport. So we're talking about how the trip was and all that stuff. And I didn't mean to talk about this, by the way, but it's so important that I think that we all review this. And so we get to telling my dad about this Hilton package, and we're like, it's phenomenal. There's so much value there. Like, we don't want to do it right now because of the kids and the cottage and blah, 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 but it's something we'll definitely do. And we can pass it on to our kids. That's one of the features that they have. It's phenomenal. Like, we're definitely doing this at some point. And he looks at us. He's like, it sounds like I should buy it. And we're like, yeah, you should. He's like, he looked right at us. He's like, and then I could give it to you. And we said, hey, yeah, you should. We should look through our email, figure out a way to get him in touch with one of the sales reps to figure out how this happens. Now, we left there saying, no, definitely not. We're not interested in this at all. It took less than 24 hours, really less than 2 hours of us being home to have changed our mind and been like, I've got somebody I can introduce to this product, right? And so I think that's something that if the agent had been better at prompting us and following up, we still haven't given this information to my dad. So if anything, we're the bad salespeople now because I'm not getting inherited a Hilton package.
It's on you.
But nonetheless, if it does come through, that's something that we're going to pass along. And so taking that back to your farm, I think one of the challenges is it's great to be in touch with people, but if you're not giving them offers, something that they can take action on, I think you're missing an opportunity and you aren't quite doing enough. And so, Gary, if I slide through here, I just flip, yeah? Okay.
I
So,
can move that. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll let you do that. I'm not here to do a presentation. I just want to kind of talk about this with you guys. But in general, if we aren't in a sea of realtors, if I looked through my mailbox the other day, I got 10 new flyers from realtors that want to sell my house, and they all look pretty generic to me. We're doing a lot of the same. So if you aren't standing out, if you're offering a free market evaluation, that's great. It's not a bad thing to offer. People need it. People always want to know what their home is worth. But if I've got 10 flyers and all 10 of them say free market evaluation, what are the odds that you're going to be one of the 10 that I pick out when it's all the same? So what offer are you giving to a potential lead client or somebody in your database that's going to stand out and be like, wow, I've really got to take advantage of this? I'm going to give you a story real quick about one of the agents in our coaching group that in March, they got a lead from their database. They not double end it, but they sell it and then they do the buy with them. Both of those price points were 1.5 and 1.7. And they say, well, great, I did this phenomenal transaction. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to go door knock my just sold listing. Now, you see a lot of those just solds. They do just say just sold, asking price, want a market evaluation, give me a call. That's great. What he put on there was complimentary staging included with your listing. And he ended up picking up another listing in that neighborhood, sold the house and helped them buy around the same price points, 1.5 and 1.7. And now you're looking at over $3 million in sales volume just by being one of those people that offered something a little bit different. And I know for a lot of us, staging isn't something that we wouldn't pay for, but are you advertising that? Are you saying that, hey, for the month of June, complimentary staging, create some urgency, make it be one of those things that it's only available right now. For this month, I'm doing it. For the next person on the street that lists with me after this sale, this is what I'm giving you. And we always know that once one home sells on the street, there's usually a couple more to follow it in short succession. That street could be quiet for years, months. Once one of those signs goes up and a big sale price, somebody else is thinking about it. So what are you doing to get in conversation with them? And again, making sure that you're standing out. And as I sit here and I look at, drive engagement and boosting conversions, a lot of people are doing social media leads, online advertising, stuff like that. You've got a lot of leads that are sitting in a database somewhere that either aren't responding when you call, they're not really engaging. give them an offer, something to take advantage of to then reach back out to you so that you actually can get into conversation with these guys. And when I think back to the missed opportunity in the farm area, I think of Ford, right? So when we get into conversation with people, we use Ford as a good structure to create rapport. We want to talk about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and their dreams. And I did a quick poll with Mike, who's one of our fantastic PC coaches and is a religious door knocker and cold caller, specifically on the phone side. And I asked him, I'm like, Mike, how often do you go deep into dreams? Because I know you use Ford. He's like, I use Ford all the time. I rarely get to the dreams section. And the reason that, and this is not just Mike, this is across the board. When I listen to conversations, when I know even for myself, one of the biggest challenges with the dream section is you kind of already have to be in rapport a little bit with them to feel like you can go deep to actually get them to come out and engage. But I would say that the magic that you're looking for is in the place that you're afraid to go. And that's a place that a lot of us are afraid to go. So don't be shy about that, because if, let's say, for example, and I don't know this whole story from this one scenario, but I'm going to tell it now as if it's different. Let's say that the agent never asked about where they were going to next. They never asked about what the dream was. They just heard, okay, not now. Great, when should I give you a call back? Give me a call back in 6 months. Perfect, I will. If they had asked, and I don't know if they did, but let's say that they asked, okay, that's great. When you do want to move, where do you want to go? What does it look like? What does that place have that this place doesn't have, right? And if, let's say that person said, you know what, if somebody really gave me one that was on 2 acres, it had a little pond, but also had a pool, if I ever found that unicorn, I would move. And then you sent them that unicorn, because however the story plays out, that's basically what happened. An agent sent that potential lead a listing that they couldn't say no to, even though it didn't make sense for them at the time. They're like, that's the one that I want, right? So there's a lot of different ways that we can prompt our leads, database, and whoever to take that action, but we can only do it if we know our ideal client inside out, if we know what their dreams are, if we know what's enticing to them. So you got to start there. You got to start with knowing your client very clearly and what they're looking for. Same thing with your leads and everybody that you're talking to. And so as we move across different industries, because we want to look at what are other businesses doing and doing very successfully, and how can we apply that to our business? And Amazon is the best at this. And we've talked about this as we're trying to generate more referrals and better serve our database. You need a lot of information, right? The more I know about my client, the more I know if you love the Blue Jays, or you're a pet fan, or a foodie, or you love going to dog parks. If I can provide value to you in those sections, I know that we're going to get into better rapport, better relationship, better chance at getting those referrals. Now, Amazon does this really well because they're a tech company. They track absolutely everything. They tell me what I want to buy before I even know it. They're showing it to me before I know it. And they're creating these offers for me on a regular basis. I'm constantly getting bombarded with a new thing for the kids, a new toy for the cottage, a new e-reader, a new whatever. But they know that based on what my past purchase history has been, what my browsing history has been. They've been having a tech dialogue with me, so they know what I'm interested in, and they keep prompting me with that. And it's honestly one of the reasons why they're such a big company is because they are great at providing offers for us to take advantage of. And when I just went to their homepage real quick, and I want to see what are they prompting me with. So continue shopping deals was one of the top ones. Specific category or product. So if I was previous looking at like kids toys, then it's a kids toys category is there. Today's deals are there. Best sellers are there. Most wished for it is there. Pick up where I left shopping. If you want to re-engage a lead, pick up where I left shopping is a fantastic category for that. Keep shopping for, buy again, or looking for a gift or a friend. I added that one in there specifically because I think about referrals.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. No, gift/friend. But if you are looking for a girlfriend, I'm sure we can make that connection as well. And I think about that as, the parents that are shopping for a kid or vice versa, or the kids that are looking like, hey, my parents are going to need to downsize soon. And you've got that kind of third party relationship there. That's still a category that you can engage with. And I just don't think that we're doing enough of it. Like, reflect on your business. Are you providing people in your database or your lead pool or at the doors, are you providing them an offer that they would absolutely want to take advantage of? And we talked about this on the coaching call today of like, you know, I'm knocking on the door and I'm providing a home evaluation or what the home sold for down the street. And I'm not really getting into big dialogue with them. They're not really engaging with me. They're not giving me their contact information. I'm offering them a couple of things, but it's not really going anywhere. Well, you're offering them something they've already got, or something that the other 10 realtors that already knocked on their door offered as well. So the key is to be able to come up with something different, something unique, and something so valuable for them to take advantage of that they'll actually engage with you in that sense. And so when I think about it on the real estate side, obviously, if you have leads in your database that want something specific and you know what it is, go out and find it for them and make sure that you are sending them stuff specifically that matches for them. I think that prospect matches and drip campaigns are fantastic, but they're also lazy and they end up being generic, right? So if you're not sending something specific that they want to take advantage of, I think you're missing an opportunity. And when I reflect even on our moves for Jen and myself, when we moved from our townhome to the detached, what I really wanted was a family room, right? Because my townhouse didn't have a family room. So if somebody was offering me, hey, look at these 4 houses that are that detached, the next one, I was looking for a main floor office. So again, if you're advertising something to me with a main floor office, that's what I want to buy. So get very crystal clear on what your clients or your leads are looking for, and then make sure that you're sending it to them. And I've got a couple suggestions here on different offers that you can provide, but I don't want you to get lost in those. I want you to come up with your own. I want you to think about who your leads are, who's in your database, and what you can offer them. And also what's big on people's concern list, or what's big on their attention grabbing list. And right now, when we talk about whether it's the interest rates or my financial planning or wealth building, that's a big one. So partner with a mortgage broker and come up with a great value prop that you can give out to your database to come meet for a meeting, a webinar, whatever it might be. And then, you know, the complimentary staging or the free photographs, like create an offer that's so good that you're handing that out and you're articulating it for them to take advantage. And as well, I would say that there's, when we look at other businesses that are doing this stuff really well, they are stacking offers. You ever go to a checkout page and they're like, well, would you like to add on this, this, and this that makes your product either better or easier? And you're like, yeah, I kind of do. And that's not a lot more. And then you do one more checkout page. They show you the thank you page for purchasing. They're like, by the way, you can also do this now. And I'm like, yeah, that makes it easier for me, right? So you could stack offers in the sense of like, yeah, we offer a complimentary home evaluation. And for the month of June, we're offering, free staging or whatever it might be. But we're also including an additional special bonus this month of a free house cleaning before you go live on the market, right? Like a lot of agents are covering those costs anyway. You're incurring them one way or the other. Start advertising them to get somebody to step forward. And all I want for you guys today is if you go out and think about this and implement one thing that you can send to your database, to your leads, or talk at the door, you're going to be in a much better spot. You can use this QR code or psncoaching.com/call KWRC. I've opened up coaching spots on Fridays. I had 7 of them this week. There's only 3 left available. If you're interested in talking for 20 minutes about how we can implement something like this in your business, I'm here for you. And that's all I've got for you today. I encourage you to go out and start doing this stuff.
Dylan, that's excellent. Excellent. Stay with me, my man. Yeah. Irresistible offer. So there's 2 things that I learned is A, we're not offering, there's actually 3 things. Probably not offering enough. And maybe it's because we haven't identified what we should be offering.
Yeah.
Hence the value squared. The other thing that I learned is Dylan's an easy sale. Like we got to, Jen's like, yes.
That's not new news.
I believe it's the book. And I know for years, you, Wayne, others have been telling me to read it. And I read it over the winter, and it sums up a lot of what you just said as well as a ninja selling.
Ninja selling is great for this, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Yeah. And it'll highlight some of those things on what to offer, but also the conversation of getting into a deeper conversation. I can remember there's a story about something similar to you guys and buying that the vacation package where you didn't know you were buyers until you got home.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? And started having different conversations. And to that home seller that says, no, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Well, what does that dream home look like?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Let's
Yeah.
think big. Like have some of those conversations. Don't like you said.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
be afraid
keep
to go
following
there.
up with it, right? And then definitely follow up after the first interaction there, and keep going in that sense. But what I wanted to add on that I forgot to mention there in terms of some of the things that you can do, we had a great discussion the other day on the coaching call about being the real estate advisor of choice for your database and for your clients, and how much you would stand out if you're actually the advisor. And then Colin and I were talking about the annual equity reviews. Like I get a review once a year with my accountant, get with my doctor. All the real professionals are providing that. And so if I do an annual equity review for you, Gary, and I show you the equity that you have in your home, and then I take a look at those stats. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Matthew Gizzi and I did a video the other day where we broke down the inventory levels in different areas. I think the first one we posted was Durham. And if I want to create opportunity for my clients, what do people want to do? They would ideally love to sell in a seller's market and buy in a buyer's market, right? Now it sounds hard, but you can do it across price points. So what we found in Durham was anywhere from $1 million to just under 1.5 was still sitting in a more sellers / just on the cusp of a balanced market. But the price point above them, 7.1 months worth of inventory, hard buyer's market. So Gary, the best purchase in real estate ever, and sell in a seller's market and then buy in a buyer's market, I've got the right spot for you, right? So again, be able to look at that stuff. And you can do this in Aurora, Newmarket. You got to break down where the areas are and break down, know the stats, know the numbers. But nonetheless, I looked at that and I was like, I got excited. I'm like, I've got 5 people I got to call to tell them about this opportunity.
Good, because I thought you were going to put a for sale sign up in your house.
Yeah.
Just like, nope.
Yeah.
No, there's
Anybody got one with a pool? You give Jen a call. Let me know. She'll filter it.
Nice. Filter it. That is a prime example of that old saying: we want to buy and sell in the same market. But there's so many options with that, right?
Yeah.
But
This is even
moving
a
up.
better market, right?
Yeah.
Like if I can truly do it that way, that's the ideal.
Excellent. I love it. Dylan, always appreciate what you bring to the table. Literally, I like it. I like it. My friends, that wraps up our meeting. Thank you so much. Thank you for being online. We'll see everybody at Golf. That's our next big event. So be there and let Stephanie know you're coming. Bye for now.